All right. So, I just spent 2 hours in a hot tub. This is the end of, what are you going to call this? This is the end of day 4 so far on our trip. We went to Lagunistas, which is a brewery that I'd suggested that we go to, and it was awesome. I got kind of a feckin' hot dog with like cheese and fried onions, and it was great. And then we had this it was called like Aunt Jenny, which was this like sour, it was like a sour beer, and like I guess you'd call it a bitter beer, and a flight of other beers, and then came home with a 32-ounce can of that stuff. I mean, it was feckin' massive, 32-ounce can of beer. And then spent like 2.5 hours in a hot tub, just like chilling out with the other guys with me, John, Thiago, Richard, here in our Airbnb. It's awesome. It's got like, look at this. It's got a flying lawnmower, and here is like the coolest space. I'm gonna totally play Quest in here, and see what that's all about. I'm really keen to do it. Now, look, I have clothes on. Insofar as I've got a bathing suit that's saturated from the jacuzzi. A jacuzzi, hot tub. Yeah, it's got jets and stuff, and foam and all that. It's fucking awesome. Like John booked it. He's always like booking stuff that's a bit like that bit higher than I would book myself, you know. And I love hanging out with these guys. It's really nice. And so we did all kinds of things today. Had a good breakfast at a cafe. And then tomorrow I've planned like a 3-stop wine tour, which is one of the things that John wanted to do. And then he kind of handed me, he's like, I don't care what we do, but we need to go around. So this here in Sonoma, which is the wine county in California, you have the ability to pick up what's called Uber Wine, which is like you get a dedicated driver just for the duration of however long you want them, and they'll just take your drunk ass from place to place to place. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. Like right now, my eyes are still crossing. I had a lot of that drink that I mentioned a little bit earlier, which we picked up at Lagunistas, which was great. If you're ever in Sonoma, or you happen to be in San Francisco and you can make a journey north of an hour and a half, then it's worth in Petaluma to go and see that. Today we also got to see twitch.com, I think, which is like a whole cast of like 30, 40 different tech shows. Really refined, whole bunch of different categories, and an amazing studio. I mean, this studio is easily $500,000, with a crew of like 3-4 people operating. They had security guard, all this kind of stuff. And we were sat in as a group of maybe 12 people, along with some other people. We were 4. And it was really cool. So from an F Reality perspective, for the F Reality podcast, I think it just shows kind of like an end goal. Like, where do we want to get to? Like, that's a pretty good goal to set. So I'll communicate that to the other guys in the F Reality podcast. I've missed a week of that, by the way, being here. I think I'm going to miss another week on the journey home based on my travel time and ability to prep for the podcast and stuff like that. So, but the guys are flying into California soon. Tuesday evening, we're expecting to have dinner, talk about some F Reality stuff, and then we're going to be pre-recording a podcast on Thursday after we've had some time on Wednesday at OC6. So really looking forward to that. I've been having fun, documenting these things through vlogs or whatever. I hate the word vlog personally, but feck it, it's what it is. And just showing you pieces of what I've been doing here, And in the end, I just want to share with all of you, be able to show you a piece of the trip while I'm not able to VR so much. But as I said, I'm like really excited about this environment here. This is like a massive garage, and I'm going to be able to play things like T for God on the Quest. I have the Quest with me. And for those of you who are wondering, I did test No Man's Sky. Now, it was on a 2.4 gigahertz network, not 5G. And here, 5,000 miles away from my computer, and I'm not shortening that, I am more than 5,000 miles away from my computer back in Scotland. No Man's Sky ran, but with like what felt like 150 milliseconds of lag. So if you've ever played Counter-Strike with like 150 millisecond ping, and you move your weapon, and it like lags like that, where it's like trailing. That's what it was like to experience. So you'd like crank the shaft, and then the ship would go. So it's like, it feels like a second delay. I know it's a lot less than that. It's not like 800 milliseconds or whatever, but it still feels accentuated when you're expecting a one-to-one experience. In London, which was 350 miles away on a 5G network, even 2G, 2.4, it was better, like far better. I would say that so far, from my trials here in California, that distance is not a comfortable way to play No Man's Sky with full 6 degrees of freedom motion. Is it possible? Yes. Is it just beyond the barrier of comfort? Yes. So is there anything I think Guy can do, the developer behind Virtual Desktop, to improve that? Probably technically no. There's quite a bit of difference between us and the server I have at home. And there's like a fair amount of polishing that would be necessary to be able to achieve that. And I just don't think that's possible. So anyway, thank you for, continuing to kind of tune in and watch this. I know it's not like the most edited of series or whatever, but unabashedly, I appreciate sharing this trip with you guys. I've been away for a long time. It's going to be like 9 days from the point, and I don't get a chance to stream anything during that time. We will be pre-recording an F-Reality podcast together, assuming we don't stab each other during dinner, which might happen, but I doubt it. And then we get to see what Oculus unveil in their big keynote, and that's still yet to come. So looking forward to that. Before going to bed tonight, I'm going to be listening, as usual, to some of my favorite album, which is Fear Inoculum by Tool at the moment. I know most of you are like, oh God, he's going on about Tool again. We, even in the Tesla that we've been driving, got myself and Thiago are both Tool fans, and so we played like 3 or 4 tracks off the new album, which was great. The speakers in the Tesla, to be honest, the 100D that we're in, not great. I'm a big audio fan, as you guys know, and it sounds okay with pop music. I think it's like, I don't know, harmonized to pop music or equalized or whatever, but actually, generally speaking, it's not something that really floats my boat. My speakers in my car sound better, so certainly not on the kind of Sennheiser grade audio from what I would have expected from the Tesla. That said, when a Tesla wants to go, holy shit, you're like back in your seat. I know everyone's heard about this, but it definitely feels like a roller coaster ride. And it's like, oh shit, we've gone plaid. So I have to thank John. He's done a great job, driving around, staying aware, following the rules, dealing with some pretty aggressive cops. We had a cop pull us over. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? He looked like he wanted to shoot John. And because we went the wrong way for a toll road and then jumped in at the last minute. And we just managed to pull in front of a cop, and it was very funny. So that's the highlight of the trip so far. Second highlight of the trip is, I think, Thiago, who's one of the developers behind things like Windlands and stuff like that, working for Psytec Games. He bought a new cap. I think it was like San Francisco something or other. He bought that, he put it on, and he liked the little circular sticker on the top. He had that. He took it off. I'm like, Thiago, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm not a rapper. And he puts the cap on, to which I see under the bill, right? Like $24.99. This bright white sticker. And I'm like busting my ass laughing. And he's like, doesn't understand it. He's like, no, it's fine. That's not that visible. And he doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about. And I was just like, inside, I was so bursting laughing. I absolutely loved it. So Thiago, I'm sorry, buddy, but yeah, I know you're not a rapper, because you don't walk around with a cap from Target and it says $24.99 on the label. Oh man, pretty far away from the old bling. Anyway, aside from that, sharing the tub with John and stuff, he's told me all about all these like internal projects and demos and stuff, and I can't talk to you about any of that stuff, and that's fine. And the game I played recently, which I won't get to unveil to you, the footage I've taken playing the game with a developer who flew me into San Francisco specifically for this. Like, I'm the only influencer, creator, whatever you want to call me, who's has had a chance with this game, and to be able to give them direct feedback. It's a big title. That's all I can say. Big title. No one else has touched it. And I'm going to give the devs some more feedback. We're going to have some playthrough sessions. But my God, I am smitten by the opportunity to help influence this title that's going to come to market. Absolutely, I'll be playing it. What I've already seen, I'm like, oh shit, you're like 2/3 of the way further on the path than I expected. So this game will come out for early access at some stage over the next couple of months. I'll be raving about it at that stage. They've got a lot right. And I think the only thing I can say is, like, I love Subnautica. That's probably all I can say. Anyway, aside from that, guys, thank you again, guys and girls and ladies. I've got some pictures of some pink rifles from my friend Callie. I think she'll like that. But anyway, hop in our Discord. It's just discord.zimtalk5.com if you want to check that out. And also VR reviews. When I get a chance to do more, I will. Developers, thank you very much for your time. I hope to meet as many of you as possible during Oculus Connect. And thankfully for good Wi-Fi, I'm actually able to upload these little vlogs again. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll see you at Oculus Connect. And tomorrow, it is my 3-point stop tour with Uber Wine, taking the guys to a winery, see if my liver survives. And if I do, I'll see you all at Oculus Connect. Thanks very much for this, quick show from a garage in Sonoma in our Airbnb. I will report back, by the way, how playing in this garage went. Like, it is a nice space, like bigger than I normally have. So I definitely want to try Tea for God in here and report back. Hopefully next time I'll remember for the next video. But thanks to everybody, and ciao. Enjoy. Look at these lovely washing machines.